Don't jump the gun so hard.
Ah, ah.
Hold on. There's the record. Yay, recording in progress. In
Woo.
progress. We're in progress.
You
All right.
sure?
Yeah.
You
All right.
sure?
Live.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
won't
Yep.
you
Yep.
show me the chat, stupid YouTube? Come on. Like it's gotta be on for a minute before I can refresh it, and then I can see the chat. It's real
There you
stupid.
go.
Stupid YouTubes. YouTubes. There we go. Cool. Now I can see the chat. Yay, chat's on. Okay. So lots of fun stuff this week. Well, not really, but I
Eh,
mean, as long as we don't get stopped and my internet doesn't go out by the what tornado warning we have for another hour over here. So, um, but yeah, all good. Why did you just type, "Can you see me?" Because yes, I
'cause
can.
I'm just testing it.
Okay. No, 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 no. Not that chat. I meant the YouTube chat. Like, not the Zoom chat. The Zoom chat's just us. So
Oh.
I can send you all the dick pics. It'll be great. No, just kidding. All the Dick Graysons, just Nightwing all through this chat. It's gonna be Nightwing all the time. So, um, anyway, guys, welcome to the Toddcast. Welcome back. It's been a week. We
Yeah.
did a little earlier one last week. It was kind of interesting. Um, I actually didn't mind doing it that early, but whatever. It was fine. It worked
It
out.
worked. Yeah. And when
It
the
has
sun's
been
out, it's
right.
better.
Yeah. Um, it's been a hella busy last couple weeks. And next week is so busy that we're not even doing the show.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then the week after that, well, I'm gonna be in a hotel, and I don't know if I'm gonna have enough uh
Ah.
interwebs in Erie. I don't trust Erie. I do. I like Erie, but I don't trust it. I don't trust it enough. Um, but anyway,
Excellent donut
uh,
shops. Excellent donut
right?
shops.
And then the week after that, you're not going to be here, so I have to
Yep.
find. I think Tim will come back on that one for me,
Yeah.
because we were talking about it the other day about him coming in,
Yeah.
for a day to fill in. Anyway,
I'll be at C2E2. So,
yeah, yeah, you will.
yep.
We're loaded with Three Rivers postcards to give
Yes,
to
sir.
everyone
I
and
will.
all the vendors and all the peoples
Yep.
doing it.
I will do my best.
Cool. We've just if you guys haven't noticed, we have started to put flyers and postcards all around the city. So if you are a shop owner, you are a small business that you want to put up one of our flyers or posters, let us know. It'll be a good time. We'll toss you a couple tickets as a thank you. Um, we're really branching out this year into like some tattoo shops and restaurants and some more libraries. So it'll be a good time, I think. And then we also have a really, really big announcement. I was hoping to be able to announce it today, but I can't because the call it didn't line up. Didn't line up. But we have someone who will be awesome to have at the show. Hopefully we'll be announcing it later this weekend. Um, it'll be a good time. Speaking of this weekend, if you're going to Steel City Con, make sure you shop all of our comic vendors that are there, all like six of them. Um,
Nerd
and
Box. Speaking of, shout out
yeah,
to Nerd Box. Uh, I got an excellent deal
mhm.
on a Hulk number 3. So
Nice.
two down, four to go.
Uh, and I'm just gonna say this as a joke. This is joking because I'm friendly with some of the guys that run Steel City. You're not a real Pittsburgh con until you've had a tent in the rain, and now you're a real Pittsburgh con, bro.
Is
So
that what they're doing?
they put a giant tent in the parking lot, in the front parking lot for the panels because of the hotel being closed.
Wow.
So, there's been
Whew.
there's been both sides. I mean, they had to do what they had to do, and I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
But
I've been there. I've been there. Um, And more like I hope it goes well for everybody. Because I don't ever want to see
What?
anything go
I was
bad
gonna
for
say
anyone.
now
But
I have to look up to
um,
see what the forecast is gonna be for that weekend
uh,
now.
dude, it's gonna rain all weekend and be cold. But it is climate controlled in that tent, I guess. But whatever. Um,
There. Oh, Friday,
anyway,
yes. Saturday and Sunday should be fine.
yeah, but still, I mean,
Yeah.
people are. There are some people that are unhappy. There are some people that are not. But you know what? Doesn't matter. It's not my show. Um, I wish them good luck.
Yeah.
As it's just another show in the city. Like,
Yeah.
we're
And
all in this together. So,
yeah.
good luck, guys. Um, let's see.
And you gotta say,
Also, we had one of our two uncanny valley signings. We had the one at the waterfront on Wednesday. We have another one on Saturday with Dave Wachter. He's gonna be there from I think noon to 3, noon to 2, something like that on Saturday. And if you buy the book, he's gonna do a free sketch on a Uncanny Valley poster that we have. Um, Dave's also going to be one of the guests at our con. So if you miss him and you want the book, you can still buy the book and bring it to the show. It's going to be a good time. I read it today. I'm going to be reviewing it shortly. I liked it a lot. Pre-release for the new Magic sets also this weekend. Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Come on out and play some Magic at one of the stores. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be at the Mills Saturday and Sunday. I'll be at Cranberry for a little bit on Friday, and I'll be in Elwood all day tomorrow selling Outlaws of Thunder Junction. So come on out and buy some new stuff. The warehouse sales at the end of the month. Don't forget that. And then also free comic book day is coming up. All this stuff is coming up very fast.
yeah.
Because we're like, I don't know, like 50. I bet we're like 50-ish days. Hold on. Let me look. How many days till June 1? 51 days
Days.
till Three Rivers Comic Con. 51. 51
Yep.
days. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with it. If you guys are interested in coming out, make sure you get your tickets. It's gonna be a good time. Um, yeah, yeah. So, all right. Um, that's pretty much all I have on announcements and stuff. So, we're gonna talk comics, and then we're gonna talk about X-Men 97, of course. But I will talk about, and I don't know if Justin has seen the teaser for
Yes, I saw
Joker
the
2.
teaser.
Cool. We will be talking about Joker 2 here in a little bit. Um, kind of okay with it, but anyway, um, we'll talk about it when we get there.
Mhm.
So, all right. Oh, did I miss anything?
No, I think you got pretty much everything. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Ugh, I am like rolling here, guys. Rolling. Not like I'm not like speedballing it. Like I'm not like on coke, but I'm not on any kind of pick me up drugs. Although I really could use like a monster or something right now. Um, oh shit, I just had something else I was gonna say too. Oh, why can't I remember what it was?
Because we're old.
Yeah, I know. Uh,
Sorry, had to
it
get that in
was,
there.
oh God, what the hell was it? Um, Crap. I can't remember. Oh, thank you to everybody who came out for the anniversary sale at the Mills last weekend. It was a lot of
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah.
Um, I got to see a bunch of people I haven't seen in a long time. It's really cool to hang out and chill. Um,
That
Damn it,
dollar
what the
room
hell was
got decimated a little bit there. But
Yep.
then we
And
we refilled it right back up. So
yep, we have it's something like 12 tables worth, so it's like 30,000 new books are ready to roll. So,
yep.
um yeah, so make sure you come and check that out. It'll be a good time. So, all right, we're gonna talk about comics. And then I might remember what the hell the other thing was that I was gonna talk about. Jeez. Sorry. So tired. All right, so I'm gonna talk about Green Lantern, number 10. Um, this is the better Hal Jordan Fugitive than dare I say the one that came out of the New 52. Um, this is kind of interesting. It's like Hal and Joe, the Far Sector Lantern, are like sneaking around Oa because there are these crazy manhunters and like the Spectrum that powers all the rings is going all kinds of crazy, and like Kyle Rayner's like in a ball in the corner, like rocking back and forth, freaking out because he's like, the colors, the emotions. Um, it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed. So, lanterns are randomly being able to channel other light. So, like, there's a scene where like a Green Lantern, a United Planets Green Lantern, um, is using red to create an axe to try to kill somebody, and Joe stops them. Um, but you find out that Lord Theros, who is like an old Green Lantern villain, is back, and he has his ring hunters who are manhunter armored dudes hunting down rogue Green Lantern or rogue any other color lanterns at all. Um, and then Simon Baz joins up. They both and find Kelly, who's like the kid lantern, like the one with the backpack and the big fro. She's really cute. Like I think the design is really cute. It's like a kid lantern. Um, and like Hal's like, I'm not waiting around, like I'm gonna go do this. Like very hot-headed Hal Jordan, like he usually is. Another reason why I love the man. Um, and they have a big fight with the Manhunters. Um, Theros is like, what the hell? Jessica Cruz is you find out is a double agent for them. Um, and they're just doing their thing. Then there's this really cool backstory or backer story with Guy Gardner where he basically has to like fight a whole bunch of different Lobos to try to find the real Lobo, and he pulls like this luchador mask off one, and he's like you're Lobo. He's like, I'm not the Lobo you're looking for, because if you don't know, there's multiple Lobos and they're all clones of each other, right? Um, so he goes out into space and Lobo whistles, and then all of a sudden, the last panel is them surrounded by space dolphins, and it just says next space dolphins. So I'm excited for space dolphins. Um, the like the cloak and daggery kind of vibe that the first half is really good. Like this is continuing on from um the Earth stuff where he was stuck on Earth. So I'm really curious to see how they wind back and pick up where the Carol Ferris storyline picked up from that and go from there. I'm giving this um I'm giving this like a like oh man. I'm gonna give it like a toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a glass of orange juice. Crunchy peanut butter, grape jelly,
Ooh,
possibly a banana in there too.
ooh,
Maybe not on the sandwich, but it's there.
okay.
Um, but I really enjoy it. Like it's been very solid out of the gate. This book has been good, and I'm digging it. So
All right. Ultimate X-Men #2. Um, I I'm enjoying it so far. Again, Peach Momoko's art is an acquired taste. It is very anime,
yup.
and I hear the echo of the gatekeepers. This is crap, blah blah blah. Hush. I'm gonna say hush right off the bat.
Wrong
We
universe. I mean,
we
wait.
but we we pick up with the Hishik Hishiko. I think that's the pronunciation. Um
I'm not reading it to help you, so sorry.
yeah, yeah, it's again this is taking place in Japan, so forgive me. My pronunciation is bad to begin with. You give me a name like this, I'm gonna butcher it.
Oh
But
yeah,
they,
yeah, yeah. You're really bad at this.
yeah, I'm bad
I'm just
at it.
kidding. You're not that bad, but you're not great.
But they're dreaming, and as they're dreaming, you're seeing the shadow kind of penetrate her dreams. Uh, and it's again, it's kind of the scare tactic. She's having the PSD and the seclusion because she's very afraid of the shadow. I guess I'll go Shadow Man. It's she doesn't understand why this is happening to her. Um, but she finally is like, "Hey, mom, I'm going out for eggs." And she runs into the gray hair girl that we see on the cover here. Uh, me, I'm gonna say me. Um, and she's like, "Hey, aren't you the girl from the car crash?" And she's like, "No, no, you're mistaken. You're mistaken." Um, but she's finally like, "Look, there's weird things happening around me. I don't think you want to be around me." But of course, me seems to be into the kind of trouble. Uh, so she's like, "No, I'll hang out with you. We'll figure it out here." And you get a little like they get some bonding time as they go back to the old school as they're going through. Um, they talk about being superheroes and uh Hishiko is like, "No, I'm no superhero," but Mi's like, I think you kind of are. Um, but they get caught by this, like, I guess a security guard. Um, but as they do, they find there is Shadow. Uh, and he apparently said, "Oh, remember all those bullies that picked on you? Well, you won't have to worry about them anymore because they're taken care of." So we're going to conclude that they are dead in some way, shape, or form. Um, but they also turn around and they tell the guard, they're like, "Oh, he's a killer." And the guard is this nightmarish figure made out of worms and maggots. And I mean, this is some good horror-esque, like X-Men. Like this is like what New Mutants probably could have been if they did it in an animated universe, like
Mm.
the New Mutants. I feel like that's kind of where it's going here. Um, and they're running, trying to get away from Shadow. Um, and Me reveals that she has powers. But if you could tell, she has the lightning, so she controls wind. So she's trying to blow them away, and of course, it's not really doing anything. Uh, but Hishiko, of course, uses the armor, and she
Mm.
just pounds on Shadow, and apparently it actually hurts him, and he goes away. Um, and Me and Hishiko uh, meet up again in, I want to say this is high school, first year of high school ceremony. Um, and the last couple of pages, you see who Shadow is. Apparently, he's a shut-in. I'm thinking this is the Shadow King, the version of the Shadow King in the Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
Because he is a rotund kid with glasses, very similar to the way the Shadow King was in the 616, except he's a kid and not an old man.
You mean
So
in his Farouk body, like where he's like the fat Egyptian guy?
yeah, only it's a
Okay.
fat Asian kid in
Okay.
in a closet. Um, like secluded kid. So I really kind of enjoyed this. I know Peach Momoko's art is again acquired taste, but brilliant. I
Hmm.
love the where they're going with this, the introduction of different versions of, I'm assuming Me is Storm, a version of Storm. I'm assuming that Shadow is a Shadow King, so I'm cool with this. Again, this is the Ultimate Universe. Ultimate Universe is completely different from 616. I'm gonna give this a uh, give me a sushi breakfast here. I feel like since this is like you know, we're getting into anime, we might as well get like, I don't know, is there like a cinnamon roll sushi or something, make it very
It sounds
breakfasty.
gross. It sounds really gross.
Well, like a cinnamon roll, but in the style of sushi, not necessarily made
Like
of
mini,
sushi.
like Cinnabons,
Yeah,
like like
Cinnabons.
Cinnabons, but you're eating it with like chopsticks. I got it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
So it's good, okay? Because cinnamon bun is good, okay? Um,
sure, okay.
we'll have some
I dig
green
it.
tea to kind of start your morning off proper. All right. Give you
There you go.
that caffeine kick in the morning. But I really like this. I want to see where this goes. So definitely, add it to my pull list. We'll see
Okay,
how it goes.
sounds good. All right, my next book, and this is way out of my normal wheelhouse.
I was gonna say, I did not see you doing this.
So
That's why I read this book as well.
so here's why I read this book. So I know Erica Schultz, the writer.
Okay.
So I was like, I want to support Erica because she's mostly gotten a lot of support, but she is the first female writer to write Spawn. So obviously there's some a-holes out there. Um, anyway, this is really great. Also, Erica's written like, I don't know, X-23. So she doesn't suck. She's a good writer.
Yeah.
Um, and in fact, like I was really trying to get her to the show this year, and it didn't quite work out. Um, anyway. So this book is kind of cool. It starts off with like they're in the future. It's 2107. Um like a strike team is going in to do some killings and find people. So this team goes into this, I don't even know what it is, like a weird like apartment building slash something else. Anyway, they go find their target. They hit the target. They leave. One of the Humvees blows up. Most of the guys die. Two of them don't. The two guys that don't both have like they end up with amputees or partial amputees. Um, so the the main character, Peter Karen, um, or yeah, it's Karen, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, he he ends up getting new legs. Um, and then they kind of show him like, working out and making sure the new legs work. It's pretty cool. Then eventually they're like, "Yeah, you're at the point where you're not hitting the benchmarks anymore to continue treatment, so we're just gonna let you go." And he's like, "Well, okay, I guess." So then he becomes like a sewer guy, I think, like a sewer
Like a
maintenance guy,
Yeah, like a
like a yeah.
custodian type deal. Yeah. Like
We'll
a
call it city maintenance guy. Like he's
Yeah.
like he's like down in a sewer pit.
Yeah.
Um,
For those who don't know what Rat City is, that's the basically that was the nickname for the alleyway in the original Spawn series.
mhm.
They named it Rat City because only rats and the homeless people stayed there. And of course, Spawn in the early going there was took Rat City as his home as well. So
Yeah. So then some of the stuff that happened in 300 and 301 and regular spawn leaks, basically like explodes and leaks into this universe. Um, and what we can only assume is some kind of spawn, uh, some kind of spawn takes over, or at least becomes part with Peter Kane. Um, so he gets out of the hole. Everybody's freaking out. He's like, "Fuck this! I'm going back to my apartment." After he like totally kicks the shit out of a couple guys, which was awesome. And he lives in a apartment building in Rat City. It's Rat City on
Mhm.
the Bowery is what it's called. So then his last remaining guy's like, "Hey man, I need to talk to you about something, but I can't leave a message on the machine." And he's like, "Nope, not dealing with that bullshit." Um Tries to take the legs off, they won't come off. And when he tries even harder to do it, um like the spawn, the demon entity part of him starts to manifest in him, and then he sees Al Simmons spawn as like a ghosty hologrammy guy, and that's where it ends. um I really like everything about this book. The story was very good. It was consistent. It kept you reading page to page. The
Mhm.
art was fantastic and felt weirdly felt kind of bright for a Spawn book, but
Yeah.
like it was like a little bit brighter, but there's also a lot more
Very
neon and
cyberpunk. Yeah.
cyberpunk. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was good. I know it's a mini series, so I'm probably just gonna read the mini series. Um, but I give this, oh man. Uh, I'm gonna even though I would never eat this because I don't like them, but because it's Spawn, I'm giving it a dozen deviled eggs for breakfast. So uh and we haven't seen him go full Spawn yet except for the cover. Um but I think this is cool. It's like a future Spawn.
Yeah.
Um it's not Al, which is also cool.
Mhm.
Um
But it's
but
very his story is very similar to Al Simmons,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So it's, you get that familiarity of the Spawn origin, you know, where it's a guy that thinks he's doing good, and but killing people
Mm.
is never a good thing, whether you're ordered
What? You're
to or
lying.
not, it's, the whole conundrum there. I liked it as well, like as a Spawn fan. I I'm glad that this is better than the Sam and Twitch book that I reviewed last week. I was gonna say, I picked it up and I'm like, please God, be better. So thank God, I'm cool with that,
Yeah.
Um,
I I think one thing Erica does well is like, with X-23 she did it well where she really like dives herself into the the history and the backstory of these characters so
mhm,
that it's not um so that it's very true to the character, right?
yes.
And I think that's why I like it a lot. I've always liked her writing. She's always been very good. If you A book that a lot of people don't know she did a one-off book for Action Lab called 12 Dancing Devils. It's hard to find now because obviously like a lot of Action Lab stuff's out of print. But if you can find it, if you like this writing, the writing style, check it out. It's really, really good. Especially if you like horror stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right. Weapon X-Men #2. We actually get the backstory of Earth X Wolverine here, and how his healing factor was um, stunted, and why he did it. Um, and it's kind of cool, he did it because of his love for Jean.
Oh.
Because he wanted to grow old with her,
Hmm.
and because his healing factor he would outlive her, and he didn't want that. He wanted to live a life, and he's like, I thought this would bring us closer. It did the opposite, like where she, you know, he got to the point where he kind of resented, everything that it was happening. He actually went to, this is a shout out to the X-Men original series. He went to see the doctor. Um, I forget his name. the one that was where he was Mystique's
Oh,
disguise.
I know what you're. I can't remember the dude's name either
Yeah, but
because it was
he
like
was
episode 3 of it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was the whole, Rogue almost becoming a follower of Apocalypse. But he was the one who actually uh made Wolverine's healing factor stunt. Like he was the one who injected him so his uh healing factor wasn't as, you know, hardcore as it is in 616 universe. So that was kind of an interesting little story you got in this book. Um,
hmm
but we kind of get back to the present stuff of um they're on Earth 80777, which is the Phoenix's Earth. Um, we see Scott and Madeline Pryor still married and have kid
Oh,
and have Nathaniel uh whole and, as X-Man, not Cable. And
okay.
you're seeing all these little hints of, oh, what would it be like if this, that, and the other. You Nathan is marrying Anako, who is Logan and Mariko's daughter.
Oh,
Yeah, it's wild. It's a wild alternate universe. Um, and you see Warlock is in here too. Good old Warlock. Um, and of course, Phoenix has come with all the Wolverines. Of course, the Wolverine that gets picked on throughout the whole book is Zombie Wolverine. Because Wolverine's kids are like, are you our dad? Like, why didn't your healing factor work to make this zombie virus go away? And he's like, those are good questions. But he's like, he was, they kept going, don't bite the kids, don't do this. Warlock actually imprisons him, like he encases himself, and Warlock's like, go ahead and bite me, but your virus will be automatically destroyed. So he
jeez.
was grumbling the whole time because, we're gonna pick on zombie Wolverine. Um, you also see Magic is now the sorceress supreme.
Hmm.
So that was kind of cool. And they're still looking for Onslaught, of course.
hmm
So Magic, Phoenix, and the Wolverines uh pick up a ping of Onslaught. He is in the Savage Land. So they're rushed down to Savage Land and, smack dab fighting dinosaurs, and they're just like, try not to kill them. Don't kill the dinosaurs because, we're invading their territory. And they look at Zombie Wolverine. They're like, we don't want to see any zombified Tyrannosaurus Rexes. And he's like, hey, the whole time they rip on him. It's so funny.
Really funny.
Um, they find Onslaught kind of just hanging out in front of a cave. So Magic just kind of charges in, and Phoenix is like, something's not right here. Hold up. Well, apparently Onslaught was a decoy and ends up knocking out Magic um psychically. So she's knocked out of the game. Um and they're like, something's not right. We got to go back to uh I guess X-Men headquarters. Um well, what's left of like what you would call the X-Men headquarters now. Um, as this wedding was happening, well, reception, it was the wedding reception. Um, they Phoenix and the Wolverines kind of crash it, and they're like, hey, it must be Madeline Pryor. This is who must be Onslaught, who's taken over. And she tries to, intervene, and lo and behold, it wasn't Madeline, it was Nathan. Nathan was possessed by Onslaught. And
Mm.
he starts sucking away Phoenix's power. Um, and everybody's trying to, the Wolverines are trying to get to her, but everybody's getting in their way, going, "You can't hurt Nathan." They're like, "It's not Nathan, it's Onslaught. We got to stop him, or your planet's going to be kaput." Hell's breaking loose. The only Wolverine who did anything was Earth X Wolverine, who slices Nathan's arm off. So, they stabilize Nathan and they're like, well, what are we going to do? He's going to die because he's lost a lot of blood and he's missing his arm and this, that, and the other. Well, here comes Warlock giving him the arm and giving him the retrovirus.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And of course, everybody's kind of like pissed at Phoenix, going, you shouldn't have did this. This was wrong. You brought Onslaught here, blaming her for everything. Um, and they go back to like I'm going to call it like a void dimension. I'm not sure what it is. Um, and the X-Men are like, look, this was not your fault. Or the Wolverine X-Men are like, he tricked us, it's fine. We'll just get him next time. Um, and she actually gave Earth X a compliment going, thank you for doing what I brought you here to do, was doing the thing that no one else will do or has the stones to do. Um, and then the end of the book, you see Onslaught finally had enough power that he's going to uh, take on Phoenix. This was really good. I loved all the little nuggets of Easter eggs throughout this whole thing. Um, I'm going to give this a solid scrambled eggs. Gives a little cheese in there. Um, it's a solid, solid breakfast. I'll give it sausage links and a couple pieces of bacon too. Like this was all around a fun ride. I liked seeing the uh alternative Earth, especially
Mhm.
this one where you got to see what would happen if all these things would have worked out like they did. Um, it was really cool. I liked it, and you got to see a little bit of redemption from Earth X Wolverine in here. So, um, I highly recommend this series so far. So anybody who is,
Cool.
I've heard that people don't like this. I don't know why, but I'm enjoying it. I think it's pretty fun. So
Well, they don't want any kind of Wolverine that doesn't have a healing factor. They don't, all kinds of dumb. All kinds of dumb. So, all right. Uh my next book is Uncanny Valley #1. Um this book was hilarious and amazing all at the same time. So, it starts out with like these three kids go out into the woods and they go to an old bridge and they're like, "Come on, man, no one's gonna catch us. Let's just jump down." And it doesn't go down super far. It's probably like a good 12, 15 foot drop. Um, so the the two of the kids break their legs, and the kid who ends up being the main character lands and like his whole body like goes down in the ground and like it leaves like the like the people outline, right? And he gets up and he's like, "Guys, you okay?" And here like the other kids are like, "Oh, our legs are broken, whatever." So he's in the fast forward, they get to um the school and he's in the principal's office and his mom comes in. His mom's a night nurse. Um which is I'm gonna ask Dave, but I think he used his wife as the model for this because she looks a lot like Dave's wife. Um, which is awesome. It's totally cool. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. So anyway, so the principal teach sits him down and is like, um, it's like, okay, like, you know, like the kids were jumping off a bridge, two of them broke their legs. Um, we have a three strike rule, and she's like, okay, so this is the first one, right? He's like, no, actually, it's the third one. And she's like, what? So, there's one where he started a fire in the cafeteria and he was jumping over workbenches in shop class, right? So the kid's like, "Mom, you're never gonna believe me when I tell you." And she's like, "Try me." And he's like, "Well, in wood shop, like this thing happened, and I was literally bouncing off the walls, um, but I don't remember any of it. I blacked out for like a good couple minutes." And um, she's like, "What about the fire?" And he's like, "You're really not gonna believe me." And she's like, "Oliver," and he goes, so one of my friends got these really hot peppers from work, um, or their dad's work, and they're spicier than anything around, and no one else wanted to try it. He's like, so I ate one, and when I ate it, I bit into it. I started seeing red and coughing and choking. He heard a high pitched whistle that he blacked out probably for 5 seconds. When he came to, the lunch tray was on fire. So I want you to think about like old cartoons where they would eat something really hot
Yeah.
and like their face would turn red. Their face would then turn into like a train whistle.
Yeah.
Um, and then they would blow fire for a minute, like burp
Yeah.
fire basically. Um, so then she's like, well, do you have all your assignments for because you're gonna be working from home for a while? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's my family tree, but all I have is me and you. And she's like, that's fine. And she's like, well, we have our own culture. He's like, I'm your culture. He's like, so you're saying our culture is that I come from a long line of traveling nurses? And, and she's like, what's wrong with that? We help people. Um, so uh he goes to the bedroom, like she's like, you're grounded, no TV, no video games, and he's watching what is basically He-Man. Um, like because the guy's like, steady fang, old pal. These skeletrons won't hurt us if they stick together. Um, Yipes, look at all these fang. No muscle at all. They don't stand a chance. He's like, Fang, and like he like ran away. Like the cat, like the Cringer type cat ran away. Um, and when he ran away, like he had a hole in the wall of his of the character, right? So she's like, "Hey, you didn't take the trash out. You got to go do this." So he goes out to do this, and there's a crow, and he's just like, "Wow, where did all these crows come from?" He's like, "Get out of here." And he goes inside. And he's like, What's going on here? There's a whole ton of birds outside." And she's like, wait, are they crows?" And he goes, "I don't know why. What's the difference?" And all of a sudden, these crows crash through the window, and they're just yelling, "Deliver the half breed, find the woman, take the boy." And he's like, "What the hell is going on?" And she's like, "When I tell you to run, you run." And he's like, "Are these birds talking?" Like he's like freaking out because he's 12, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the mom's like swatting all the birds away, and he's like, and she's like, "Get out of here!" And he opens the door for help, or to get out of there, and you see this big gunshot boom, and it's the Yosemite Sam looking character from the front cover, who you then find out is the mom's dad, because he's like, "What the hell is going on here?" And he goes, "This is your grandfather. Like, just get out of here with him. Just go." And he's like, "Wait, isn't he a cartoon?" It's like, "Oliver, this is your grandpa." He's like, "Hey, partner."
Oh God.
Um, so like the birds steal the gun. They try to take the boy. He ends up freeing the kid, but the mom kind of gets like attacked by all the birds. Uh, she's like, "When I tell you to run, you run." And he goes, "Okay." And when he starts to run, his feet do like the Scooby Doo spin.
Oh, geez.
Then he flies out through the wall, and he looks back at the house, and there's like the cutout of him in the wall, right? And then his grandpa pulls up in a car, and he's like, "Get in the car, buckle up." Um, they drive out. His grandpa starts shooting these birds from the car, um, and that's where it ends. Like that's where the first issue ends. It's like, he's like, it's all real. So we're gonna find out more about what happens in this, in the next couple weeks. I thought this book was absolutely hilarious. Was a lot of fun. Um, I am highly recommending it to everybody. Uh, I'm giving it I'm giving it the biggest breakfast burrito you can find with all kinds of hot peppers loaded into it with Tabasco on top, just so you can blow fire too. Um,
Dude.
and and don't
And both
forget you can.
ends.
Oh yeah, right. And don't forget, Dave Wachter will be at the Mills on Saturday from 12 to 2, I believe. He was already at the waterfront, so you missed him there. But you can get a signed poster of this, which basically doesn't have the Yosemite Sam guy colored in. And he will like basically draw that guy there. But Dave does all the art in this book, so all the different styles are all Dave. Um,
Nice.
and it really is really cool. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like it's kind of got like a Roger Rabbit or Cool World vibe to it, but it's
Mhm.
also kind of like a mystery and like a kid growing up vibe thing. I'm really just loving it. I think it's a lot of fun. And I recommend it for everybody. So, oh, come on. What the hell? Hold on. There's yours.
There we go.
Sorry, it was at the beginning. Ah, my bad. We were supposed to start with you. My bad.
Resurrection of Magneto #4. Now, we left off with Magneto stepping out of the death dimension into the world of the living again. And we pick up where um, all the, I guess, all the humans that are converging against mutants are all gunning for Magneto. He's just kind of floating. And as he's floating, he's kind of monologuing, kind of ignoring them for the most part. And as he's doing that, you see he has three helmets. He has the white helmet from the Krakoa era, the black helmet, which he had for a short period of time between Krakoa and his old regular red helmet. So he's trying to decide which one fits him now. Um, because throughout the whole book, he's fighting these guys off using his powers, which again, Magneto is powerful as hell. Very little they can do to really do much to him, even with all the new tech that they have that they've been doing fighting against mutants because yeah, your tech is fine, except it's all made out of metal. So yeah, have fun with that. But they're even being super cocky. Like the humans are like, we're more powerful than you now because we got all these weapons. And he's like, okay. And he actually takes one of the helmets and kind of uppercuts the dude with the helmet. It just
Oh,
you see it go like right under the
nice.
chin. Um,
Do they do like the
they
flying tooth?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And he's sitting there and he's monologuing off. He's like, I'm not really much of the white helmet anymore because of, you know, I'm not where I was with Charles at the time. And, and he's debating again, like the whole book is centered around him deciding which three helmets he's gonna wear. Um, And he finally does after these five guys go around and they're all in mini Iron Man suits.
Mm,
And they're like, well, we're going to get you, blah, blah, blah. These are Tony Stark's designs and you're not going to be able to do anything. And he finally decides, he's like, well, I guess I'm going back to the red. So you see him with his red helmet back on, classic looking. Um, and then you see what he did to the five guys. He basically turned them all into little spheres, and you just see the blood dripping out of the spheres. So he
nice.
basically canteen them all. And I'm like, damn, that's hardcore. Um, you're finding out that like they had captured mutants in this facility as well. So of course he frees all these mutants. Um, him, Blue Marvel, and Storm help everybody to get away. And as they're doing this, you see the Stark Sentinels come around. Now, these Sentinels, the book also showed how these Sentinels are programmed to counter a lot of mutants' abilities. Because here comes Storm, and usually Storm pretty much snaps her fingers and destroys a normal Sentinel. This Sentinel actually reversed the lightning attack on him back. Like it was, and they also countered Marvel. Um, and the one Sentinel goes, we can counter your abilities as well, Magneto, blah blah blah. And he's like, well, can you counter this? He ends up making two giant metal fists, and he just starts punching with these metal fists against against the Sentinel, and the
Awesome.
Sentinel's like, blunt force trauma, blunt, because he's just boom, boom, boom. Like this was really good. Like you definitely see Magneto with the control and the power that we're used to seeing him have. Um, they finally defeat this Sentinel by actually making like a magnetically powered conduit using him as the center and having Storm and Blue Marvel inject their power into him, and he just goes full on, uh, destruction, totally destroys the Sentinel, destroys the whole fortress. They escape before more Sentinels come out, but they do get a transmission from Emma Frost going, "Hey, you have to save my husband, who is Tony Stark." So they can stop all these Sentinels and everything, and Tony is the only one that could probably shut these things down. But I am giving this. Give me the full-on buffet of breakfast buffet here. You got the give me a slab of roast beef, give me cheesy potatoes, give me the whole 9 yards of every kind of egg, every kind of meat. Um, this has everything you enjoy about being a Magneto fan. Um,
Hmm.
him being a smartass, him being that philosopher but at the same time being totally devastating and using all his powers. And this book
Fair.
shows it all. Um, really enjoying this. So,
Jeez. And he's like super cut. Look how thick his arms are on this
yeah,
on this
yeah.
cover. So, all right. So now, let's talk about X-Men 97, and then we'll
Okay.
go into, or do you want to do the Joker trailer first? Because it's a little easier. It's kind of because it's just a teaser. It's not like the
Yeah.
full trailer. Let's just do that.
Uh,
We'll do the Joker one first, then we'll go into X-Men. So if you don't want to hear about either of these, get out. Get out now.
spoiler alert.
Go.
Marshall says go away.
Marshall's like Marshall's like, I came specifically for Joker, Dad. Um, so no, he's probably looking for a place to puke and then eat it. But whatever. He's he's kind of a jerk lately. Anyway, So, all right. So Joker 2 trailer. Um, First, I really like the idea that there's gonna be like a music show, like some kind of a Joker variety show going on this thing.
I think they said it's supposed
Um,
to be very like a musical type deal, which
y-
if you have Lady Gaga in it, yeah, you
you
kind
might as
of
well.
expect that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
you
might
might as
as
well. Yeah.
well.
It's gonna be Joker meets what a Star is Born, right? So, uh, so I I didn't mind any of the scenes I saw with her in it though. Like she looks
No,
very
no.
what we would think that Harley Quinzel would do. Like where she's kind of
Yeah,
like finds this dude cute and just kind of falls in love with him as she goes. I
yeah,
don't think she's gonna be like the doctor this time.
yeah.
Um,
Definitely
but
doesn't have
I
the Brooklyn accent.
right.
Heavy Brooklyn accent.
Oh yeah, that's true. Uh, but I don't know. There are parts of the trailer that I was like, okay, that looks pretty good, and then other parts that I was like, I don't really care.
Uh,
Um, so I
Again,
mean,
though,
the
it's
first movie
very,
was okay.
yeah.
Like it wasn't super great, but it was okay.
I mean, I
Um,
if you're gonna do like a drama version of a comic book character, I think Joker is one of those that you can do a dramatic kind of
oh yeah,
thing
I mean,
with.
don't
You
get me
know,
wrong, I
it's
enjoyed the shit out of that movie.
yeah,
It just wasn't part of the multiverse, which I actually kind of liked because it
yeah,
was its own separate thing.
yes,
Um, so and I liked that they kind of got into his or a version of the Joker's backstory,
yeah,
right? Like it's not the typical, oh, he's fallen into a vat. Like this
yeah,
is this, it works though. And that's
yes,
what I like about it. So I'm looking forward to it. Um, I'm not super enthused about it, but I think it'll be at least as good as the first one. That's the way I look at it. Because if you don't take the first one as, oh, it's going to be part of this giant overlapping shit. Hi, Amber.
She's like,
Um,
Dad has stuff. I want to see what it is.
it's all good.
Ugh,
Um, but
it's not food. It's just bottled
I
water.
I think it's going to be at least as good as the first one. That's the way I look at it. So,
Yeah, it should be fine. I thought it was interesting, like the little the symbolism in it, the little bit that you did see, like the final scene where she's like, "I want to see the real you," and she
oh,
put
and
the
draws
little
the
thing with the little
yeah,
lipstick, and you just see the big grin coming
yep,
out. I'm like, that's a cool scene. I want to see
yeah,
that. That better be in the movie. I hope that's just not
yeah.
a trailer thing that they did. I, but
I
again,
hope there's
it's
more scenes like that in the
that,
movie
yeah,
too.
something more impactful. And I think it will
Right.
be. I think this is going to be a very interesting. We'll see. I hope it's not super musical like they sing the entire movie because that's going to drive me nuts.
Yep.
I don't want
I
that.
don't think they will,
No,
but
no. I think it's going to be a big part of it, but I don't think it's going to be the whole thing.
agreed.
But it's we'll see. Like you said, I like the first one. It was interesting. It was a different take. I want to see where they go with this.
Yep.
So,
I think that's why I liked it too, because it wasn't the same old thing, right?
yes.
It was a cool, different take on it, and that's one of the reasons I liked it too. So, um, okay, so I guess we'll wait till we get a full trailer, and hopefully it doesn't suck. So,
Yep.
um, so the next thing we have to talk about is X-Men 97. So,
Oof.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, this is
This was by far the most hardcore and most adult um episode I
yeah.
think they've ever done. And wow.
So
Just wow.
I I want to talk about the thing I want to talk about first is I want to talk about all the fucking cameos.
Oh yeah.
So So luckily, IMDb put a bunch of them in their trivia on the it's like in Genosha, you see these people at the party.
Yep.
So we see Megan Gwen, who's Pixie, Robert Herman, who's Glob, the boy with the transparent body with the visible skeleton.
Yes.
Um, Latvina LeBlanc, who's Gargoyle, uh, the winged and horned girl. Lynn Lee, who's Nature Girl, the young girl with deer horns. Bennett
Hmm.
De Paris, who's Exodus, black suit with a white cap. Alyssa Tager, who's Cypher, dancing uh, black girl with powers of a ghost. Allison Blair Dazzler, we saw her.
Yep.
Samuel Pear, who's Squid Boy, who's a fish man.
Yep.
Um,
You see
Sarah
multi-man.
Rushmore. Hold on, getting there. Sarah Rushmore, who's Marrow,
Yes.
short red-haired girl, and then we see Jamie Madrox, multiple man, black suit with green coat, who duplicates himself. So that part alone made me like super excited about this show,
Oh
like
yeah.
this episode,
Yeah.
because I mean we saw him briefly in the episode where X Factor showed up in the original
Yeah.
run.
In the
Uh,
picture.
no, he was there in an
Was he?
episode. Hmm? Yeah,
Okay.
it's the episode where Iceman shows up and they're looking for Polaris.
Yeah, yeah. And then you see him in the Love and Death in the previous
Yes,
with a picture of all of X Factor there. So,
yes,
that
yes,
was, that was kind of a foreshadowing there.
yes.
Um,
So
More
I really,
importantly, though, we did get to see Nightcrawler in
oh
classic
yeah.
Nightcrawler outfit. Yay.
Um, I don't. I'm gonna look while you give a little bit, but I don't know that I like that the voice actor for that guy, and I
Well,
don't know if it's the same guy or if
I
it's the
don't think it
guy.
is. It is
It
not.
sounded more like the dude from Evolution.
It might have been.
I'm looking
But
just
you also saw Emma Frost and Sebastian from Hellfire.
yeah.
You got to see
Yep.
Banshee and Moira McTaggart,
Mm-hmm.
um, who is still human, no Krakoa mutation yet. Um,
Right.
so you get to see that. Um, I'm kind of cool with it. The the thing we see more though is the dynamic of the relationship between Rogue and Gambit and Magneto in that love triangle. And the how Rogue met Magneto to begin with.
Right.
So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed that nice little backstory. Feel awful for Gambit because dude can't catch a
Well,
break.
it was the guy who voiced him in the original series.
No,
How about that shit?
huh? Didn't sound like him though.
Nope. I don't know. It might just be like, part of me might, this might just sound stupid, but I think some of it might just be that they like we have better equipment now. Like it's
Mhm.
not just like better recording equipment, right? Like we have better
Yes.
recording equipment. So maybe that's why these voices sound so different. And
Well,
it's
and
not
again, it
just
has been some time.
yeah,
It's not
yeah, yeah.
exactly like, and I
Oh yeah, yeah.
think he didn't have a long speaking role in this. Whereas his episode it was all an episode centered around him,
Right.
and you got used to his voice. Um,
Right.
so I think, you gave a little bit of leeway there, although he was very sage-like in his advice when he was talking to Gambit. Uh, so
Agreed.
he's still very wise and advisory. Uh,
Yeah.
but I do like this more playful version. I like the fact that he is wearing the red outfit as compared to him in a monk robe.
Well, I mean, we saw him out of the monk robe too, but
Yeah,
not
but
a
not
lot.
not
Yeah.
very much. This was more classic
Yeah.
Nightcrawler.
Now I just
But
need swords and I'd be okay.
that well, you did get to see that in the preview too.
I know.
Him sword fighting in the preview, which
Yeah.
again, the preview showed a little bit more there, with uh Cable fighting Apocalypse, just like you saw him in the
Hmm.
OG where he's battling Apocalypse. So, we get to see a little bit more uh mont a little bit more tribute to the original.
Hmm.
Um, I'm cool with that. Uh, like I said, this was a very emotional, like this is a huge emotional roller coaster up and down, left, right, you know, it didn't
Right.
stop, and we're not even talking about the X-Men back at home where Jean's not sure what's going on, like she's trying
Hmm.
to get herself together. We finally get to see her and Logan kiss, which I, as a Wolverine fan, I'm like, nice,
Hmm. Hmm.
start that little love triangle there. Um, you see, Madeline Pryor kind of get up on her feet a little bit, being part of
Yep.
Genosha, but then she's still kind of doing the psychic thing with Scott there, which I thought was like,
I
ooh.
thought that was actually kind of cool because I was like, ooh, he's got
It was
two genes.
some
Which one's your favorite, buddy? You know?
starts
I
it starts the poking the bear.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think the scene that was very, very well done, um, was the Cable scene. Like, where he comes in and he's just like, oh shit, like I only have so much time. We gotta go, we gotta do this thing. Like you guys
yeah,
gotta leave, you gotta go. And then it's, like whatever, like time slide, one person, blah blah. He's like, God damn it. She's just
yeah,
like, wait a minute, you survived. Like, and it was very cool to
yeah.
have that moment
Where
where
they
people can,
realized,
yeah,
he who she was. Yeah,
yeah. I'm hoping that he plays a bigger role
I believe he
in the
will.
rest of the season, and I will be shocked if we do not get Deadpool in this season. Which, by the way, I
Mhm.
just saw something on Twitter right before we started that um, Kevin Feige has promised that Deadpool Wolverine is going to have some kind of disturbingly looking uh, popcorn bucket topper,
Oh,
just
nice.
like Dune. Yep, yep.
Okay, then
Some kind of
I'll definitely
awkwardly
have to
sexual popcorn topper. So very
Deadpool's
excited to see
butthole
that.
or something. Deadpool, the
Right.
chimichanga butthole or something. It's gonna be something weird.
God, what can it only be?
Or if you press him, he's like, you press the button on the back of Deadpool, and he's like, Vanessa, bring the big one. It'll be something messed up.
Right. So cool. Well, that's pretty much all we got for the week. I'm excited that X-Men 97 is still going. I think it's going well.
It's hitting hard because this
Yeah.
episode, I've seen more YouTube videos on that than I
Yep.
have since the first
There
episode.
there is a
They
big
are,
thing that happens. We're not going to talk about it, so you need to watch it yourself.
yeah.
Um,
That's
but
the
if you've
only
seen any
spoiler
of the
we won't do
memes,
it.
if you've
Yeah.
seen literally any of the memes today about it, you know what it is.
Yeah.
So, but I personally don't care because I don't care about that character. But
Well, I know
but
someone.
did he go
I
out like a champ though? Fuck
Yes, yeah,
yes.
he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Especially, a certain person in Mills is going to be very, very sad.
Oh yeah, they are. That's oh man. Well, since I'm going to be covering for them all fucking weekend, I hope they watch this episode or that episode and then get all sad about it. No, just kidding. I hope they don't get sad about it. They're going to, but I hope they don't. Because I'm pretty sure he's like that character's coming back. That character, like they're not going to get rid of him. So, um, anyway, thanks guys. We will catch you in 2 weeks. Dose, dose, dose weeks, 14 days. Yeah, that'll be it. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Catch you later.